Hey Z-Day, as you can see, I'm sorry I couldn't be there. I'm on the road here in the United States, but I just want to say, I just wanted to send a quick message saying, keep doing what you're doing. This is incredibly important. I would say you're doing the Lord's work, except for the fact that I'm an atheist, so thank you for doing the human's work. I wish that there were more of us, and there will be. I want to talk about, real quick, the things we were going to talk about if this was able to be a live interview. They were going to ask me what it's like to do a comedy show and why I have my comedy show called Redacted Tonight that I do every week. And it talks about all the things that I think you and I find important. And they were going to ask me why comedy? Why is comedy important? Why do I talk about these issues with comedy? And I think the reason is that, as you guys know, you're out there trying to talk about these incredibly important issues, and you want them to be forwarded. You want more people to be talking about them, and sometimes just giving the straight truth is enough to make it something that people will latch onto and speak about and share with each other. But sometimes it needs that hook. Sometimes it needs that gimmick. Sometimes it needs juggling cats and things on fire. So for me, it's comedy. I try and use comedy, and I think many of you probably use arts of various forms. I know my friend Abby Martin is there, and she doesn't just speak about these issues in a straightforward manner, but also makes amazing art about these issues. And I think that is the key, that it is incredibly important that we use art of all stripes to get the message out about what we're doing to the planet and how to solve these problems. The unfettered capitalist model that most of the world is living in is eating the world alive. It's like we're in a giant hot dog eating competition, except there's no time limit. So you just keep eating all the hot dogs, and eventually you run out of hot dogs. And then the rules of the game say keep eating, so at that point you have to turn to the guy next to you and eat him. And that's what we're witnessing. There's a limited number of hot dogs, and we're eating them all because those are the rules of the game. We have to change those rules. We have to change the mentality, and I do it through comedy to grab people's attention, to grab their small amount of time they're willing to give to these issues. We have to do it in all different ways. Various forms of art, various forms of music and comedy and painting and also lecturing in a straightforward manner. All of those things are important. So I just want to say, keep doing what you're doing, because we're in the middle of something serious. We're in the middle of a drop-down, drag-out, bloody fucking war, and a lot of us are too dumb, medicated, or blissfully uneducated to even realize it. This is dark versus light. This is evil versus good. This is Mel Gibson now versus 1993 Mel Gibson. This is a very serious situation. And I think just like a bowl of goldfish, if they just give us a little bit of food and a little plastic treasure chest or a chest of plastic treasures, then we will never even notice that all of our thoughts and all of our soul takes place inside of a tiny 2-foot bowl. The debate, the realm of the debate, the paradigm of the debate that's allowed on our mainstream media channels is a very small amount of thought. It's a very small amount of what thought is out there, and that's what zeitgeist is. It's the thought outside of that tiny box. It's getting outside of the small realm in which we're allowed to think and process things. And that's why it's so important. We have to get outside of that box, because we're witnessing the extraction of everything we've built over the past 200, maybe 1,000 years. This unfettered capitalist domination of the mental sphere, the natural here and now, is a liquidation. It's an extraction. It's a decimation. It's a defecation on anything and everything that matters to your average human being. And the question now is just whether most of the world will put our differences aside long enough to tell the ass holier than thou titans of dickery at the top of this system to go frack themselves with a rusty dildo, if you will. I hope you will. We need to put our differences aside to change this model, and I'm glad you guys are out there doing it with me. I hope you'll keep in touch. If anybody wants to shoot me ideas or keep in touch, please do. I'm always online at Lee Camp, leecamp.net. And keep fighting the good fight, everybody. I'm sorry I couldn't join you live, but this was only recorded a few minutes ago, so I hope that's close enough in our modern technology world. Sometimes the real world gets in the way. But talk to you soon. Keep fighting.